Hey guys, what's up? So we have a new update on Advanced Server and it's patch 1.7.54. First on our list is the buff on Hanabi. They increase her basic attack range to 5 yards. Here is a side-by-side comparison of her official and Advanced Server version. They also increase the base shield from her first skill by 200 points. There's also an experimental change for her immunity shield. Other shield sources will now give her CC immunity. Example is the shield from Blood Wings. As you can see, I was not knocked up after buying Blood Wings. This means the shield from Rose Gold Meteor and Lolita's passive will now grant CC immunity to Hanabi. Next is the nerf on Karrie. The developer said the last week's nerf was not enough, so some adjustments are needed. Her passive damage will now be lower in the early levels. Ultimate damage is also decreased in the early game. Next is the revert on Eve's nerf. They toned down the increased cooldown on her ultimate from last week. Compared to official server, it only increased by a few seconds. But it's still a nerf though. Next is the buff on Paquito. The developer said he is underperforming, so they are buffing him slightly. Higher shield from his first skill and more damage to his enhanced second skill. Next is the nerf on Lapu-lapu. He can counter backline enemies much better than other fighters, so they lowered his ultimate damage. That's minus 35 points of base damage to his first 2 attacks. Next is the revert on Valentina's nerf. They cancelled the last week's nerf on her ultimate cooldown. It's now the same as the official server version. Next is the buff on Julian. He isn't used lately, so they are upping his burst damage. Passive skill now has a higher magic scaling of 20%. Next is the revert on Natan. They lowered the buff from last patch with regards to his basic attack lifesteal ratio from 100 down to 80%. Next is the buff on Edith. Her ultimate will now give more shield. And they also cancelled the nerf on her defense to magic power conversion. This means it's now the same as official server. Next is the buff on Alpha. His passive skill Beta will now always deal true damage. But since it's true damage, it can no longer increase with attack items. Its damage will now scale with your hero's level. The follow-up damage on his first skill is now faster. The heal will now scale based on his missing HP. And they merge the damage of his ultimate. It means only 1 damage will be applied. Total damage remains the same though. Tank Alpha is now possible with these changes. Next is the nerf on revamped Minsitthar. Longer cooldown on his second skill. Next is the adjustment on the roaming skill, Conceal. The developer said Conceal is performing too well as a teamfight initiation tool, so they will lower its movement speed. Is this fair for roam users? Last one is the adjustment on the Knockback Effect. Knockback will now count as a CC skill, so they added a brief stun effect. Skills that were affected are the following: Badang Skill 1, 2, and Ultimate. Martus's Skill 1. Beamord's Ultimate. Tamus's Skill 1. X-Ward Skill 2. Masha's Ultimate. Fredrin's Skill 2. Kagura's Ultimate. Valier's Skill 2. Luoyi's Passive. Bruno's Ultimate. Melissa's Ultimate. Faramis's Skill 1. Kofra's Ultimate. And lastly, Biggie's second skill. So what can you say about the new Knockback Effect? Do you like Hanabi's buff? That's all for this video. Stay safe and thank you for watching.